Welcome back to Run the Atlas. Today I have a story time for you, a very unique one, what it was like to travel in Spain during the power outage of April 28th. See all the people that just came from work. I have 10 takeaways for you that you can take on your next trip to help you prepare if anything like this ever happens to you. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned to the end because I didn't think about them until the power outage actually happened. Okay, so let me set the scene. It's a buzzing Monday morning, it's a work day. There's tons of tourists in town because the marathon just happened. So I had grand plans for the day. I was in line to take the hop on, hop off bus. I was early, so I decided to get a drink at the nearby coffee shop, which happened to be a Starbucks. However, the Starbucks was completely black, and the employees were in the doorway saying, "Estamos cerrados," we're closed. So I thought it was so odd that a chain store like the Starbucks would have a power outage. Obviously, they're selling milk products and perishables, so this is a big deal. Then I noticed next door to the Starbucks is a famous candy shop. That too was blacked out. It's all dark. The entire business was operating in the dark. So I'm on the bus. The bus is very slow to arrive, and I noticed that the streets are getting more and more backed up with traffic. As I'm on the bus, I look down at my phone and my internet is no longer working. I'm not able to send and receive messages. I'm not able to use the map. The 5G is completely out. The bus is barely moving down the streets. The streets are piled up with cars. And in Madrid, they have a lot of roundabouts. The roundabouts were barely moving, and usually they're faster than intersections. Then I notice, as we're traveling through the business district, some of the largest corporations in Madrid are based here. Everyone is pouring out from these tall buildings out onto the street, wearing their business clothes, carrying their briefcases. I overhear from someone that the metros are closed. So the metros are closed, that means everyone is on the sidewalks now and using the bus. Now the buses are getting piled up because they can't make it to each stop on time. On this hop on, hop off bus, usually you're supposed to be able to hop on and hop off, but Madrid's government doesn't allow that, so it's literally just a bus tour. Our driver made an exception and let me out because we literally just went 3 kilometers in an hour. So I'm out on the street and I'm walking around and I notice that most of the people are very calm and collected during this entire time. A few hours progress and I notice that Madrid has staffed up their police force to help direct traffic and help alleviate some of the congestion in the streets. I noticed that a couple restaurants were still open and operating. This cafe is only serving cold beverages and cold food like olives and cheese and bread. None of these restaurants, including that one behind us, can serve any food. No one can even check out unless you have cash. And most of the businesses are closed today. Everything just shut down. Guys, I'm in the El Retiro Park right now. The power has been out for about 3 hours, but we're trying to make the best of it. And so, as you can see, a lot of people are just chilling, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just chilling. Can't use my phone, can't buy anything unless I have cash. So, let's go chill. All of the business people were gathering in the streets and rolling up their sleeves and just happy that they have this free day, basically like a holiday. Some people just seemed really happy about it. However, a lot of the bathrooms were closed. So I had to use the flashlight on my phone to navigate through the building to find a restroom, and the water didn't work either. This reminds me of the scene in the Titanic where they're playing music and there's like an apocalypse going on. While I'm at the park, they have different kiosks where you can buy snacks and water. I asked one of the concession stand attendants what's happening with the power, and he tells me that it's all of Europe. And then I know this has probably made the international news, and I have no way of verifying if what he said was correct or not because my phone doesn't work. And everybody's walking. The entire metros are closed. So I walked through the park and I headed back to my hotel, which is a Hilton. And as I'm entering the Hilton, the elevators are closed. And I'm up on the 5th floor of this hotel, so I walk up the stairs and it's completely in the dark, and I use my cell phone flashlight to guide me as I'm going through. And the whole time I'm wondering, is my key card gonna work for my hotel? Luckily, when I'm at the hotel, my key card does work. It's a miracle. I'm able to get into my hotel. And because I'm here in April, it's not too hot in Madrid. You can get by without air conditioning. So I brought a Mophie and I was able to charge my phone, and I noticed that our hotel did have the Wi-Fi enabled because they have a backup generator. So the first thing I did was reach out to my loved ones and let them know what was happening, a massive power outage, and that it might impact my flight schedule, which was scheduled for tomorrow. And I've tried to get the news, and the news is happening very slowly because the information on the ground isn't really trickling through to the different news sources and updating rapidly. But I learned that the power outage affected Portugal, Spain, and parts of France because they're all on the same power grid. It's not all of Europe, but it is this entire country, which is insane. Now let me talk about the things that I learned, the top 10 things. Number one is go somewhere where there's a generator. So most hotels do have generators. They also have them at hospitals and airports, but they're not everlasting. They only are good for a short period of time until the main source of power is able to come back in effect. Next is conserve power. So if you're using your phone, put it on airplane mode or turn it off. A lot of people in Spain turned this into a positive, and it was almost like living back in the 80s for a day. People were just in the present moment, enjoying themselves, playing board games, enjoying the sun, and just enjoying life without technology. There's something very freeing about that. Next, always keep emergency snacks on you. Protein bars, mixed nuts, non-perishables, anything to hold you over while the restaurants are closed. So all the supermarkets are basically closed, but I was able to score some jamón ibérico para liar, and yeah, just heading back. Number 4 is have cash. Look at all the people getting change because you can only pay in cash. Small bills and change really matters during a situation like this because ATMs are down and all of the consoles to pay digitally are down. So you can only pay with cash. Next is avoid elevators. Take the stairs whenever you can because the folks that got stuck in the elevators had to be rescued by the fire department. Next is have a backup plan and talk to locals and rely more on the local officials like the police or the hotel employees for information rather than random people at the concession stands. Next, there's 2 items that were premium priced at some of the local 7-Eleven type mercados in town, and that's candles and radios. Because there's no way of getting information, basic radios were all of a sudden in high demand, and candles were being sold for 20 euros a pop. Another place that has generators are some of the large grocery store chains. So the Mercadona here in Madrid still ran on generators and was open till 9 p.m. However, essential items such as water and toilet paper were selling out fast, as well as canned goods. Have a basic understanding of the bus routes because bus routes will stay open and available while metros are closed. If you are driving a car, make sure that your gas tank is filled. The gas pumps will no longer work during a power outage. My very last tip and most important one is to stay cool and calm because during a power outage or any type of situation like this, there's nothing you can really do about it. And so a lot of the Spanish people just remained tranquil during this time, tranquilo, and I really appreciated that. No one was freaking out or panicking. Everyone was making the best use of it. I saw people just calmly walking to a park and making an impromptu holiday out of the situation. And lo and behold, the next day, I was worried about my flights. I thought they might be canceled, but everything worked and operated as normal. Lights are working. I see lights. So it's best to just have faith that you'll get through the situation. At the end of the day, you'll have a great travel story. So I want to learn from you. Have you been in a foreign country during a similar situation? Comment below. I'd love to know what happened during your trip. And stay tuned because I've got many more travel videos for you. Be sure to thumbs up and subscribe down below. And we'll see you in the next one.